What's up, y'all? It's your boy Sean P back again with another 4th of July edition of Hip Hop Roundtable Review. Check out my last video on the Benny the Butcher and Freddie Gibbs beef that could be starting to heat up again for this summer. Who knows what's going to happen? Benny has a new song out. This with some diss bars for Freddie Gibbs, and Freddie Gibbs is coming with Alfredo too. So who knows what's coming on that? But anyway, back to the lecture at hand. Tonight we're going to talk about Clipse and Travis Scott again. And first, we're going to address maybe the, if you want to call it, get back from Travis Scott, or if you want to call it his rebuttal to the scathing diss that Pusha T had on So Be It. And we're gonna have a little talk about that. Like, was this really a petty move, or is this really warranted, or is this about really competition? I don't know what to make of this. And then we're going to talk about the Clipse track list for Let God Sort Him Out, which the official track list came out earlier this week, and there's a lot to talk about that. So first, let's talk about Travis Scott and what's really going on here. So now this is not anything official or what have you. This is just from, I guess, a random post, So I don't know if this is confirmed or not, but originally Jack Boys 2, which is Cactus Jack, which is Travis Scott's record label, his compilation record. If you didn't hear Jack Boys 1 with Don Toliver, Pop Smoke, and all that, definitely check that out. That's a fire album. But anyway, it was supposed to drop today on the 4th of July, and they moved the release date. Now, according to sources, which I can't confirm these sources, this is just from a random post, they're moving the Jack Boys 2 date to July 11th. So what's special about July 11th? July 11th is when the long anticipated Clipse album is dropping, Let God Sort Him Out. And Let God Sort Him Out has had somewhat of an epic rollout between listening parties in Paris, from the Louis Vuitton show, controversy around leaving UMG for Rock Nation, and of course the Travis Scott diss, which has sparked the whole clout chasing debate and comments and interviews of Pusha T against Kanye West and Travis Scott. So, and on top of that, the rollout includes the track list, which we'll get to. But my thing is that, is this move petty? Is this move a move where this is sparking competition? Or is this kind of the only way Travis Scott knows how to respond? I don't know. I'm torn about this, because my initial thought was, this is kind of a petty, kind of corny move. You know what I mean? Because Travis, what you're doing now is you're going to weaponize the fan bases. Obviously, you have your more trap, turn up, new school driven hip hop base that's going to be excited. And then versus, Clipse, who have more of a traditional hip hop fan base. And you're basically going to say, look, you want to diss me? Well, we taking it to the numbers. We taking it to the sales. And knowing that Travis Scott has one of the biggest fan bases in the world, you know what I mean? I think Travis Scott, he streams well over 50 million. It seems that it's like you're trying to make it about sales, and you're trying to make it about streams, which is really, in the end of the day, like, you know how I feel about streams. It's the most fraud way to compare the quality of hip hop. You know what I mean? Because sales aren't really traditionally generated this year. And Travis Scott streams over, you know, 63 million people. You know what I mean? His monthly streams are 63 million. So automatically it's like, okay, you know what? You want to diss me? I'm just going to outstream you on that day. You know what I mean? Because he has the bigger fan base. Now, I think the Clipse album is actually going to do pretty well. I think the Clipse album is probably going to stream around, not stream, but sell maybe around 80 to 100,000 the first week. This is a lot large buildup to that. But it's going to be interesting to see, because Travis Scott with a way bigger fan base could easily do over 150, 200,000. But see, it's like, this is where I'm torn, because maybe this is the only way Travis can respond, because he's not going to respond lyrically because he's not a true lyricist. Or is he? On Jack Boys 2, will there be a lyrical response to Pusha T? That's interesting. But my initial thoughts are, oh, you're making this about streams. You know what I mean? So, of course, the young hip hop fans that don't really listen to hip hop, they just want to look at numbers and a couple of hit records, go and say, look, he screwed up your rollout, he's outstreamed them, so Travis won. And at first I'm like, okay, yeah, maybe he's doing that. But then I was like, in the end of the day, does it really matter? Because those that really care about hip hop and really are about the culture, they don't care. Those streams don't mean anything. We already know that Travis has the bigger fan base, so he's probably going to stream and sell more. So what? As long as the Clipse has a decent turnout, that day of maybe about 80 to 100,000, I think it's a win, and it's a win for real hip hop. You know what I mean? But in the end of the day, it's kind of it's petty, but at the same time, if you're Travis, what are you going to do? You know what I mean? You're not a lyricist. If he was going to have a diss record, he'd have it out by now. I'll be shocked if he has a diss record on Jack Boys 2, but I wouldn't be surprised he has a line or two about Pusha T. But don't come out and say, look, I got the stream, so I beat you. It still don't change the fact that you're a fake dude, though. And you make a lot of fake, corny moves and a lot of petty, childish moves behind the scenes. It's still not going to hide that. But he's running from protection from his brand and his fan base. That's the way I see this, really, in the end of the day. But it's really the only way he can compete, because he can't compete bar for bar. So really, in the end of the day, I'll just chalk this up. This is more of a win for Pusha T, because it's obvious that the song got Travis out of his element to try and compete with him in some sort of way, even though he can't compete with him lyrically. So in the end of the day, I think it's more of a win, believe it or not, for Pusha T. But I wouldn't make a big deal out of it, even if Travis Scott and Jack Boys 2 has the better debut on July 11th. But let's get back to let's God sort them out. So let's get back to this track list here. Let me pull this up right now. So, and this is a little bit big, but let me go ahead and well, yeah, it's not too big, but we'll get to it. So the official track list dropped, and man, listen, I don't want to make predictions before, you know what I mean? You could get into some big trouble with that, and I just hope this does not disappoint, because you go from an opening track where I could tell that's probably a choir, Voices of Fire with John Legend. That's going to be an interesting uh, an interesting way to start off. And you go right into Whips and Chains with Kendrick. We already know what that's about. Then you got Tyler the Creator on there, who Tyler the Creator has slowly become one of the dons of his generation. Now got classic albums. He's got bars and lyrics. He has a very large fan base. He has a lot of impact on hip hop. So POV, that's going to be interesting. And they actually have history together because I believe on what was it, Till the Casket Drops, Tyler the Creator and them have a very good collabo. I know Pusha and Tyler have a very, very good collabo. And that was about 11 to 12 years ago or so. Now this gets interesting because the original So Be It is not on this track list, but there's a So Be It part 2. Now the rumor is, or the word on the street, is that there's a ghost verse on here where it's going to be, the So Be It that we know, and then maybe an additional verse by a secret MC. Now, originally, this was thought to be Kendrick Lamar, given that Kendrick Lamar was supposed to be on 2 songs on this, and he expressed interest to be on 2 songs. So it could be another verse by Kendrick Lamar. But around the rumor mill and around the winds that are swirling in hip hop land, they're saying that it could be Jay-Z. And Jay-Z could put a verse on there. That would be very interesting. And it's really interesting to see the dynamic, given that Jay-Z has a lot to say right now. And Jay-Z is at odds with some people that Pusha T did not have kind words to say about. That includes Kanye West and even Drake. Because let's be honest, Drake and Jay-Z ain't on the best of terms either right now. After some of the comments and some of the sneak posts that Drake has been doing, I would love it to be Jay-Z. If Jay-Z comes here and it puts on a verse that lights the world on fire, number one, that's going to get everybody talking. If not, people are talking already about the Kendrick verse. But that's kind of going to be, I think, in my opinion, the start of a new rollout for Jay-Z's next project, which I'm on record as saying, and I'm willing to put some money behind Jay-Z dropping a new album in 2026. It's 30th anniversary of his debut, Reasonable Doubt. Could mark 30 years in the game. Jay has a lot to say. And he's rumored to perform at the Super Bowl. And if you really do the math, it makes sense for Jay-Z to do the Super Bowl. So that could be the start of a new rollout for Jay-Z. Then, of course, Ace Trumpets. The Dream is on here. MTBTTF. That's interesting because on Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, there was a song kind of like that. I don't know. Was that maybe a Kanye West diss? I don't know. You know what I mean? I love to see Stove God Cooks on here. That's a great feature. Stove God Cooks. It's time Stove God Cooks gets some more mainstream recognition. He is the more grimier, grittier version of Max B, in my opinion. So I would love to see that. That's good. And of course, the God Sort 'Em Out and Chandeliers featuring Nas, where I hear Nas just flexes on this Chandeliers verse. So this is going to be interesting. This is going to be very interesting, this track list. And I'll tell you what, man, this is going to be, I just don't want to be disappointed now. I mean, this is lining up to be an epic album. This reminds me, I haven't seen anticipation for this. Well, really since last year, since GNX. But this is the most anticipated album I've seen in a long time. You know what I mean? I'd say next to that is probably Kendrick. You know, I don't even know if I could call Lil Wayne anticipated anymore after how much of a disaster Carter 6 was. But yes, I just hope it doesn't disappoint because, man, that track list looks absolutely serious. You know what I mean? That is going to be, I mean, I could just see Grammy nominations from this, a lot of critical acclaim. I don't know, but I'm just hoping this lives up to expectations because, man, is this going to be something? And just the whole theme around the art themes, fine art themes, the how should I say, the bougie drug dealer talk. It's like the sophisticated coke dealer talk. I can't wait for this album. You know what I mean? This is what street rap needs. This is what real hip hop needs. And thank God for this. When you got Nas, Kendrick Lamar, Tyler the Creator, you know what I mean, and potentially Jay-Z on one album. I mean, I don't know what to tell you what, but July 11th is going to shape up to be an interesting day. It kind of, and now that I think about it, I want to see Travis drop that day. Just to let you know, I like Travis Scott. I mean, for the music he makes good music. Is he Pusha T? Is he in the category of Kendrick? And is he even in the category of Drake? No. But for the music he makes very good music. I think in his lane, him and Future are at the top of their lane, and they are certified legends, whether you like them or not. In their lane, they are legends. So I want to see this. It's going to spark a hip hop debate between the two schools of hip hop. The traditional culture, traditional hip hop culture, the 30 and over culture, and the under 30 streaming culture. You know what I mean? It's going to be really interesting. I can't wait to see it. I hope they do drop on the same day because I want the competition. Is it petty on Travis's part? Yeah, it's a little bit petty. But what is he going to do? He's not going to bar up Pusha T. So we'll see, y'all. What do you think? Was that a petty move to put out Jack Boys 2 on July 11th? Do you think it makes Travis look weak? Or are you looking forward to the competition? And let me know what you think in the comments about that track list. And are you like me? I'm just praying this lives up to the classic status that we possibly think it could be. So with that, enjoy your holiday weekend. I will get back with y'all soon with some new vlogs, and I'll talk to y'all later. All right, peace.